They're not just Pokemon. They're gods, guardians, and world-ending threats. From creators of reality to living natural disasters, today we're ranking every legendary Pokemon. My name is Blaine, and with that, let's get started. Oh, and don't forget to leave your favorite legendary Pokemon down in the comments. Thank you. Alright, so as always, I do like to go ahead and go over the tiers that I have here. I have Fantastic, Amazing, Good, Bad, and Horrible. So, the or in the past, I have done the best and I've done the worst. I like to try to rank them within their category. So the Pokemon that appear closer to the left are going to be the ones who are the best in that category. The ones to the right are going to be the lower end ones. So let's get started. Now I'm going to rank all of the legendary birds first, and then we'll do the Galarian forms of them. Alright, so Articuno, probably my favorite legendary bird. So I don't know if I like it enough to put it up in Fantastic. I'll put it top of Amazing. I love the fact that the legendary birds in the initial games were set to try to represent seasons. So Articuno was winter, Zapdos was spring, and Moltres was summer, but they never made a fall one, so it was kind of weird. But yeah, overall, I do love Articuno, probably my favorite bird. Zapdos is really, really cool, really, really good. I do enjoy Zapdos a lot too. There's a whole strategy back in Generation 4, I think, with Garchomp and Zapdos in the Battle Tower or in competitive play. I don't really know. I don't really know. But I do really think Zapdos is cool. I love the design. I like how it's a lot sharper compared to like the more rounded edges of Moltres and Articuno. But yeah, overall, pretty good. Moltres is probably going to go down in bad for me. I just don't think that it differentiates enough from other fire, flying type Pokemon, you know? Like, in the next generation, we got Ho-Oh, we got Charizard, we got Talonflame. Like, there's just a lot of fire, flying type Pokemon out there, and I don't think it does enough. Other than having really, really good stats, it's 4 times weak to Rock. I mean, same with Articuno, but yeah, overall, I don't care for Moltres as much as the other two. But Galarian Moltres, design alone, I'm going to put up an Amazing, so just complete Uno reverse right there. But yeah, overall, the black with the pink is really, really cool. I really enjoy it. I like that they changed it to a dark type just to make up for the, yeah, like it's a really cool Pokemon. Now the other two, I'm gonna put Articuno. I don't know if wow, maybe. I like it enough. I do think that the Psychic Flying type is definitely a more used type than Dark Flying. Yeah. But I do like its signature move, and like with all three of these, I like how they kind of brought in the original typing with it. Like its piercing glaze would freeze an opponent. That's pretty cool. Like, and then I really enjoy Zapdos. I think that them turning it more into like an ostrich is really, really funny. The fighting typing is really, really cool with it. Thunderous Kicks or whatever is really, really cool as an attack. Yeah, I really, really enjoy Galarian, Zapdos, and Articuno. I think that they're really, really, really cool from like a lore standpoint. Now, Mewtwo, fantastic. I've made videos, like one video about Dr. Fuji, Mr. Fuji, and how he's involved with the creation of Mewtwo. I love the lore of Mewtwo. I think Mewtwo is such a cool, unique Pokemon. I cannot speak highly enough of Mewtwo. Raikou. Well, this is gonna be hard. I'll put Raikou up in Amazing. I really enjoy the saber-toothed tiger aspect of it. I like the fact that it's got the flowy bits coming off of its back to simulate like a cloud. Very, very cool Pokemon. I wish that we had a movie wrapped around just Raikou. I know it had the whole Pokemon Chronicles series about it, which it's fine, I guess. But like, nah, it needed its own movie personally. Entei is probably my least favorite out of those three. I'll put it bottom of good. I think that they didn't do enough with it. I mean, I do think that it was heavily impacted by the generation it was introduced in, where it's a fire type, so it only gets stab on fire type moves. But all of the fire type moves in Generation 2 were special, so it did not get to use its really, really high attack stat at all. And yeah, overall, it's good. I just don't think that they were able to do enough with it. Now, Suicune is going to go up in Fantastic. I love Suicune. I love the design. I love the colors. I love the implication that it can clean water. Like, we need that in the world nowadays. But overall, just really, really cool Pokemon. I love that it's one of the first, like, it's a Pokemon that's not directly tied, that got its own game, Pokemon Crystal. Yeah, I like the fact that they added its own character, or its own character, Yusin, who is searching for it, trying to get it. Overall, really, 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 really cool Pokemon. I love Suicune so much. Moving right along, we got Lugia, the Guardian of the Sea, who I'm going to put up in Amazing. I love that they gave it its own design or remake in Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, where we got, yeah, Shadow Lugia, super, super cool Pokemon, super cool design. I think that the movie Pokemon 2000 was really, really nice. I think that Lugia is a really cool Pokemon. I love the Whirl Islands too. I love the lore behind how Lugia used to perch on top of the other tower in Ecruteak City, but then when it burned down, it had to find a new place, so it went to the Whirl Islands. It's just really, really cool. I love the storytelling that they did in older Pokemon games, and I don't know if they necessarily do explicit storytelling like that anymore. It's a lot of up to your own imagination what really happened here. Ho-Oh. I love Ho-Oh. I think that us needing a Phoenix Pokemon needed to have happened a really, really long time ago. I know I docked Moltres for being a fire flying type, but I think Ho-Oh did it so much better. I know it's a chicken, like it looks like a chicken, but I think that us needing a Pokemon that could, in the lore, revive other Pokemon, super, super cool. Like I said, I love the colors. I think that Ho-Oh is a really, really cool, nice Pokemon. Now, I am just going to put all 3 Regis. I like Regice the best, and I like Registeel the middle. I do think that the Regis are not the best designed Pokemon. I get it from a lore aspect, that they were just kind of made to embody the element that they are representing. So like Regice is ice, it's made of ice. And then we have Registeel, who is made of steel. And then we have Regirock, who is made of rock. And then I do also like that they're representing different times, the Ice Age, the Stone Age, the Iron Age. But I just feel like they're not unique enough. And I could probably say the same with Regielektric and Regieleki, sorry, and Regidrago, but I'll get to them later. Don't you worry. Now, Latias and Latios. I'll put them down top of Amazing. I really, really like the Lati duo. I think that from a lore aspect, they're just super, super cool. They're like the first gender-specific legendary Pokemon that we've ever had. And then in the movie where they're brother and sister and the brother sacrifices himself, it's just such a really, really cool, they're cool Pokemon. I like that they were roamers. It made it kind of difficult to catch them. And then in Emerald, you can choose which one you get. That's pretty cool too, but overall, just amazing Pokemon. I love both of them. I like Latias better. I think I just like the white and the red design more than I like the blue and the white, or gray, I guess. Now we got Kyogre, who I'll put top of good. The idea with Leviathan being a Pokemon is pretty cool. I don't like rain teams. I don't like sun teams either. So, and I'll put Groudon on the other side of, no, bam, right there. Yeah, just the design was great. They're not amazing though. I don't necessarily know how much I like about them. I do also get really confused with how rare and how legendary they actually are, because you can find them in a lot of games. Same with a lot of these Pokemon. So yeah, anywho, I don't care for them. Sapphire was my first Pokemon game, so I do have a more soft spot in my heart for Sapphire, but yeah, overall just, they're fine. Rayquaza, top of fantastic. I think that Rayquaza being the first Pokemon to ever Mega Evolve, really, really cool. I think that Rayquaza's movie, fantastic. I think Rayquaza. I've been saying that like a lot here in the past couple minutes, so sorry. But Rayquaza is just a really, really cool Pokemon. I think that overall, yeah. I don't know what else I could even say. It's Rayquaza, so. Next up, we have the Lake Trio, who are all fairly interchangeable. I think Azelf's probably my least favorite. I'll put there. I like Mispirit the best, and then I like Uxie after that. I think that the idea that these are some of the first Pokemon ever created from a lore aspect, not like a real world aspect, is really, really cool that they were there to give the Pokemon world, the humans, knowledge, emotion, and willpower to teach them about that is super, super cool. And I mean, it's very important to the overall story of the Pokemon world. So super neat. I like them a lot. I do like with Latios, the blue and the white design are just not for me. I also don't like its head appendage, but then again, I don't like Mispirits or Uxies either. But yeah, I've got some fond memories with these Pokemon. Uxie was my favorite for a really long time, but yeah, I think Mispirit's definitely up there. Now, I like it being more of like a mixed attack and defense Pokemon versus Uxie being purely more defensive and Azelf being more on the attacking side. But yeah, overall, they're cool Pokemon. Dialga. I'll put right there, right behind Lugia. Dialga is really cool because Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and then I guess in the Hisui games, they're really, really cool because they're like the deities over an aspect of our reality. Same with Giratina. But yeah, we've got this time-space continuum, which I'm not going to get into because I don't know if I can speak intelligently on. But overall, I like Dialga for the, yeah, just its aspect of controlling time, like Celebi, like, it's very, very cool, very unique. We don't have a lot of Pokemon that can do that. And then similarly, we have Palkia, who I'm gonna put right there. I think its typing kind of makes it less cool to me. Makes it easier to catch in the games because I think dive balls and nest balls work on it because, net balls, sorry, not nest balls. Net ball, are they net balls? Either way, because it's water typing, it gets that multiplier, so it makes it easier to catch. So just, I don't know. Not cool. I do like that they made the water type. So yeah, that's the other part of it. Diamonds are really, really hard, so they made Dialga steel type. Pearls come from the ocean, so they made Palkia water type. It's also cool because of the 3 different states of matter. I can't even speak. That's really cool that they played that into with the other 3. You know, I'm just gonna rank Giratina up here. I love that they took so much initiative with Giratina. They gave it 2 different iconic locations where it can appear, Turnback Cave and the entire Distortion World, which I've also made a video on, so go ahead and check that out too. But very, very cool Pokemon. Very, very cool lore with both of them. Now we got Heatran, and I think Heatran's gonna go, I like it better than the Regis, but I don't like Heatran. I think it's cool that they gave it a Mega Evolution in the Pokemon Legends EA. It wasn't needed at all, but I do like that its body kind of melted into magma. But yeah, this is definitely a Pokemon that's interesting. I like that they made it so that it could be either gender. So like, obviously that implies that this Pokemon is not unique. It's just very, very strong. Kind of like a pseudo legendary. Its typing is also fairly unique. But yeah, overall, just Heatran's not a Pokemon that really speaks to me. Yeah, and its design's not the best. I do like the red and the orange with it, and the gray. Like, it's colorful enough. I do like that, but overall, it looks like a lava monster. So I guess it did good. Regigigas, I like more than Heatran. I think that the lore behind it moving the continents, super cool. I love the idea that you need the other 3 Regis to awaken it. I guess the other 2 come in later, but Regigigas moving continents and it being, from a lore aspect, just one of the strongest Pokemon physically, then it having the ability slow starts, very, very cool. They were like, we need to nerf it somehow. We need to make it so that this Pokemon isn't as strong as it is quoted to be. But yeah, overall, Regigigas is really, really cool. Its cry from the anime is also pretty cool. I'll play that here. Alright, Cresselia. Cresselia is a Pokemon that a lot of people really like. I don't care for it that much. I think that it's unique, I guess. I like the idea that it can fix bad dreams, or it can give people good dreams. And it's kind of like the moon Pokemon before Lunala came around. But on the other side of that, there's a lot of them. There can be multiple different Cresselias out in the world at once. It's only a legendary Pokemon and not like Darkrai, its counterpart, who's a mythical Pokemon. And from a lore aspect, Darkrai, with it being mythical, is way more rare. So I don't know how it can be a duo with one being more common and one being rare. But that does bring me to Darkrai. I'm going to put Darkrai here up in Fantastic, and I'm going to bump Giratina up as well. I think that Darkrai is a Pokemon that Nintendo and Game Freak, and honestly a lot of the side series, have really put a lot of focus on, of it being evil. But if you look at the movie, it's just misunderstood, you know? And we're all just a little misunderstood. I do love that it's a big bad boss in Legends ZA for the DLC. I think that that's very, very cool. I love that they brought back this Pokemon to make it that way. And it even appears in Legends Arceus, and that's pretty cool as well. But overall, really, really good design, really cool design. I love that they even showed its legs in the Mega Dimensions DLC. Very, very cool. Moving right along, we have... So I will also say, I am going to include Pokemon that are less mythical now because they are a part of the main series games. So Arceus, the final boss in Legends Arceus. So I'm going to include it here. I love Arceus. It's going to go top, maybe not that high. I'll put it there. Arceus is really, really cool. I love one that it's based off of a llama, which is cool. The creator of the entire universe is based off of a llama. That's crazy. But I love the fact that it can change all types. I love that Game Freak is aware that this Pokemon is really cool and they made other Pokemon based off of it, with that being Type Null and Silvally. And yeah, just overall, I love Arceus. I love its design. Everything about it's just really, really cool. Moving on to Generation 5, we're going to start with Cobalion. And Cobalion, I actually recently shiny hunted, and that I probably got some bias towards it. I think that the Swords of Justice are really, really unique because they have such like a good story about them, like saving Keldeo, about them just being super, super strong Pokemon. They're not unique though because trainers own them, so it just layered issue, you know. But I do like Cobalion. Terrakion, I have not shiny hunted just yet, but I don't like how big and bulky it is. I don't know if I like the rock fighting type as well. We got Mega Barbaracle, who just took that title from him of being the only fighting rock type, but overall, unique Pokemon. I like him enough, I just don't like him. You know, I'll bump him higher than Heatran. Heatran's lame. Now we got Verizon, who I bottom. I have T-Mobile. Just kidding. No, I also recently shiny hunted Verizon, and I really like it. It's 4 times weak to fire, to flying. I've already done that in one of these videos, but it's I like its elegant and sleek design compared to the more rough Terrakion and the more like stoic Cobalion. I do really, really enjoy Verizon's design, but I do like Cobalion more just for the lore aspect of it being a leader. I don't know. Voice crack. Next we got Tornadus, who in its incarnate form I don't like, but in its Therian form I definitely enjoy more. So I'm going to put it there just as a good middle ground. You know, same with Tornadus. I think Tornadus I like less just because of its design, but overall they're really cool Pokemon. I like from a lore aspect that they actually do embody the different seasons. It's like what they tried to do with the regional birds, but they couldn't. So overall, really, really cool. I do enjoy them a bit. I've never actually used them on any team or any playthrough, but I'll go ahead and put Landorus up there too. I think Landorus Therian is a very, very neat Pokemon, very unique in its typing, and that it's got Intimidate. Yeah, I think that I like Landorus the best out of all 3 of them. Moving right along to Reshiram. I'm going to put Reshiram higher than Articuno in amazing. I think that Reshiram looking like an actual like traditional dragon compared to Zekrom is very, very cool. I do really, really enjoy Reshiram's design. I like the typing. I like that they didn't make it red for a fire type, but they made it like white fire. That's very, very cool. All right, so I went ahead and made this a little bit smaller. That way I could go ahead and show more since there are going to be a ton of Pokemon on this list, but bear with me. So next we got Zekrom, who I'm going to put at the bottom of amazing. I like it less than Reshiram for sure. I think that them turning it into what a modern dragon would look like isn't quite what I wanted. I mean, I get it because it's electric type and electric is not quite traditional like fire, I guess. But overall, it's cool. I do enjoy the Pokemon, the design. It's just not what I would have wanted. Now, Kyurem, I'm going to put up in Fantastic. I think the lore behind this being 1, a monster in black and white, and then 2 in black 2 and white 2, they turned it into an entire story of it being the missing piece of the original dragon. So the 2 halves, Reshiram and Zekrom, came from Kyurem, and Kyurem was what was left over, the original body. That's very, very cool. And then it's also one of the first Pokemon that we've ever seen fuse with another Pokemon. Super, super cool. I love the lore behind Kyurem. I should probably make a video based on Kyurem, and stay tuned, might be coming. And then finally for this video, we're going to do Keldeo. Now, Keldeo is going to go up in Fantastic as well. I love Keldeo. A lot of people don't like Keldeo, but I love the fact that they gave it so much care. Like, first of all, the color's really, really cool. It's a Kelpie too, and in traditional Scottish lore, a Kelpie is just super interesting. And yeah, it's a horse. It's a water horse. And they didn't make it into a seahorse. Like, they kept the horse aspects of it. I just think that that's really, really cool. I love Keldeo. It's one of my favorite water type Pokemon. One of my favorite Pokemon overall. So, yeah. Alright, you guys. Thank you so much for this part 1. I didn't realize how many different legendary Pokemon there were until I started going through this list. So, If you guys enjoyed it, go ahead, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I think I'm going to be posting part 2 of this list next week. So, in case of that, as always, keep exploring, keep learning, and stay safe out there, trainers. Bye!